Hi, I'm Magic Ben, and today I'm going to be doing a trick and I'm going to teach it. I have here with me my two good friends Liz and Ken. Okay, so I've just got a deck of cards here, an old deck of cards. And Liz, why don't you shuffle that? Okay, yeah, good. All right, now Liz and Ken, we haven't arranged anything. You don't know what you're about to see. What I'm going to have you do, Liz, is you're going to think of a number from 1 to 6 just in your head, and then you're going to roll a die here that's going to add 1 to 6 to the number you have in your mind. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and Ken and I will look away, and you'll secretly roll the die. But then you can show the camera the number you roll. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll look away.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. So now you have now you've picked a number 1 to 6 in your head, and you've rolled a die, so you have a number 2 to 12 in your head right now. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I want you to do is you're going to communicate that number to Ken under the table by counting off the number of cards of your secret number. So if it's 6, if your secret number is 6, you're going to take 6 cards off the top and give it to Ken so that he can, under the table, count the number of cards and he'll know your secret number. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Now, you're gonna now also count. If your secret number is 6, you're going to count the 6th card down and look at that 6th card. Secretly look at it, and you can show the camera too. I guess we'll look away. So you're going to count down to your secret number and then look at the card that's at that position.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. All right. And put it all back together, and then Ken, you can put your cards on top.
Should she have showed the camera that card?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, great. So, I'm gonna just let's see. We'll just put these into things here. Okay. All right, Ken, and all right. So we'll just let's see. We're gonna use let's just call Alvin because the little dude is Alvin, and let's see what he thinks here. All right, looks like he likes this part here. Okay. Okay. All right. So Liz, what was your number?
My card is a King of Hearts.
And what was the number?
The number was 9.
9, okay. And yeah, right.
Wow.
So now I did this in the simplest way possible, but there's more complex ways you can do this. So I'm going to teach this so you can stay on and if you want to learn how this is done. But a lot of people, the people I love, watch magic because they enjoy just the performance and bring some magic to your life. Okay, I'm going to have one of you guys hit man the camera now. So during the teaching process, and you can probably bring it a little closer. Yeah. Okay. So again, this is a live single continuous shot. no cutaways, and nothing was prearranged. Okay. Okay. So the way this works is that it's a mathematical trick, and now I don't know what your number is until you tell me the number at the end. But basically, the way this works is you're going to be picking a number from 2 to 12. Now you could pick the actual number. I add a die in here just to make it very random, and you don't say your number ever out loud, at the start of the trick. But basically, what's happening is you're communicating the card to Ken by counting off the number of cards, and then you're looking at a card down from what you're thinking. So for illustrative purposes, suppose you rolled a 3 and you picked the number 3. So let's just say, or even let's make it simpler. So you suppose you picked 2 and the die rolled a 2. Okay, so your secret number is 4. So you've given Ken 4 cards, and you're looking at the 4th card down. So we'll just turn over that 4th card so you can see what's going on. Your card is the 4th card down, and Ken has added his number, so it's the 8th card down. And basically, when I get the cards back, I don't know what your number is, and I don't know what your card is, and I don't know where your card is, right? However, the one thing I do know is that it's an even number of cards down from the deck. And the reason why I know that is because we've basically taken, I can put the rest of the cards away for a second. You've given Ken the number of cards, 4 in this case, and your card was the 4th one down. But when you add the same number of cards back on top, you see how it's an even number because 4 and 4, or 5 and 5, or 6 and 6,
yeah.
Or 2 and 2, like whatever the number, you're always adding that number again. So I know it has to be an even card down.
Now even if it was 5 to start, once you put it the second side, it would be 10. Yeah.
Right, correct. Yeah, like if it was an odd number, like suppose it was 3 and 3. 3 and 3 added together would be 6. So I don't know what card down it is, but I know it's the 6th card. It's an even card. Now from there, we have Alvin here because he can basically pick piles. Again, maybe for illustrative purposes, we can have a few cards that just sort of, okay. So what happens is there's a couple ways to do this. One, you can divide the deck into 2 piles like this. And you have to keep track of 1, even, odd, even, odd, even. So this pile is the even pile. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the one pile is the even pile, one pile is the odd pile. So you have Alvin just there's lots of ways to do this part of it, but Alvin, the more you wind him up, the further he goes, right? So you have to just kind of get a feel for how, I need him to go around here, right? So you need to just do enough so that he'll make it here. So he's choosing this even pile, right?
And the card's always going to be an even pile because it's an even number.
Yes, correct, right. So now, now I know the maximum number of your maximum number is 12 because 2 plus 6 is 12. 6 and 6 is 12 because if your secret number was 6 and the die rolled a 6, it could be 12. So that means your card could be 12 deep, right? It could be up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It could be the 12th card down. But now notice, because the way I've done this now, because I've dealt them into 2 different piles, your card is now the 12th up from the bottom instead of 12th down from the top, right? So now you can say, and there can be a lot of cards above it. Okay, so you roughly divide the deck in 2. So I've taken out, about half the deck. Let's say I'll just make this a little bit more even. So Alvin has taken out half the deck, but again, it kind of looks like this because you can be 12 deep. Okay, but everything above that I know is not your card, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Everything above that is is not going to be your card. So at this point, there's a couple of different ways you could do this, but probably the simplest is just you can just spread out the cards like I did, and you want to spread out so that it's so that the 1 to 12 is in a spread like this, and then this could be done with a lot of things like a coin, like some kind of magic coin or lucky dice, or I've seen people do like wands and stuff, and magical devices. But Alvin is good because he can kind of just sort of scooch along the board, and you kind of want to end maybe roughly in the center-ish, so it's a little, if you take, this should be about half the spread of cards, right? So 26-ish cards. You want to end it. Obviously, I'm flipping up the 12th card so you can kind of see visually where it is. But then you're going to ask them what the number is, and at that point, they'll give you a number, and their card will be the X up from the bottom. Now, this seems super obvious now because I'm explaining and showing you all the things. But at the time, of course, you don't necessarily know what what happened, right? So, did it seem interesting? Did it seem magical?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you we said 6, I think, right? 2, 4, 6. So and if you end Alvin at roughly kind of the middle, you'll say, oh, if they're anywhere kind of near the middle, it's like you can point out specifically, hey, Alvin ended in the middle, and you flip over the 6, and that will be the card. But it's tight enough in the range that he can be practically anywhere, and it'll still seem like that he's roughly hit the right spot. What the viewers or the spectators don't know, obviously, is that exactly from this side counting up is their card. Now, the way I actually did in the trick, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it in the trick that I did was, and I'll show you what I did. I did the start of what's called a Pharaoh shuffle in Magic. So again, let's say let's say 4 was your magic number. Okay. So if 4 is your magic number, that means you're working with 8 cards, and you'll have seen. Maybe we just work with the same card again, or the Ace of Clubs. Okay, let's use Ace of Clubs. You've given these to Ken. Okay, so he knows your magic number. You are looking at the 4th card down, which is this one. Okay, so you have in your mind the Ace of Clubs. Ken's putting his 4 cards back on top. So we know, again, you don't know I don't know how far down your card is, but I know it can't be past 12, and I know it's in an even spot. It's this card, this card, this card, or that card, right? So now you're replacing this on top of the deck again. And now you can just say, I'm just going to bunch the cards like this, and let's just sort of do it. Now, what I'm doing, I'll just do it, and then you see. What I'm doing is this. This is, again, in magic circles, this is called a Pharaoh shuffle. So now, what a Pharaoh shuffle does is it exactly divides the cards into two piles, and then you can shuffle them together. Okay, so it's like a kind of like a perfect shuffle. This is inspired from a Pharaoh shuffle, but I'm not doing a Pharaoh shuffle. A Pharaoh shuffle is actually literally you dividing the cards into 2, and then you're merging them together. So a Pharaoh shuffle is actually like this. Let me try to do one for you. So you're taking the cards, dividing them exactly into. I guess I don't have to turn this over, or we'll set this aside for a second. So the idea is that you're sort of weaving them in together. The idea is that you kind of push the cards in together. It's kind of knacky to do, but basically you kind of shove the cards together, and the purpose is that every card interleaves with another card, and then when you do the actual shuffle, it's supposed to be like a perfect shuffle. But the point that's important, though, is that what I did was this. So I know your cards only, again, can't be more than 12 deep, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So it's about that deep, right? So if you look, it's only a fifth or so down the deck. So down here doesn't matter. You can kind of just sort of messily divide the thing in 2. up here is where it matters. So this is card 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm doing is I'm separating out the even cards, at least down to 12, okay? And you just can do that kind of quickly. And then after that, this other stuff doesn't matter. You're peeling off this stuff. So I know down here is the even pile, and up here is the odd pile. I mean, again, Alvin then just goes across. He says, "Oh, look, he has an affinity to this pile." There's two different ways. If you divide the cards into two, then if you divide the cards into two, it'll be reverse, going from the bottom up is your card. But doing this way, it's from the top down. So now, when you do, it's a little bit more natural when you do the spread. Your card, it has the same sort of effect, but you see it's a little easier because it's counting down from the top up to 12 again. So you want to keep your track. 12 is going to be about here. And then when you ask for their number, have Alvin end roughly in the half. But when you count down to their card, it'll be their card, right? So. That makes sense? Is that pretty interesting? So, so try it out. There's this principle is a mathematical principle, but there's variations of it as well. But it's nice because it gets two people involved, and I never really throughout the whole thing until the very end. It didn't ask for your number throughout the whole thing, but yet I was able to basically find your card. And the other person has knows your number from you giving the card to them to count. Now this can also be done with one person as well, so it doesn't have to be done with two people. And if you don't have a third person, I'll explain how this could be done with one person. So if it's just done with one person, you can say roll a die. 2, and they pick the number 2. So together, their number is 4 here. Again, the same thing. And here you're just going to say, look at the fourth card down. So here they'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the fourth card down, and then you'll say, now take the from other parts of the deck. You're going to take out that number of cards, so 4, and put it on top of the deck. Okay, so yeah, in the end, you see how it still has the same effect of having 4 cards and puts them on the even number. So if you didn't do that, you wouldn't, like if they pick the number, if their thing was 1 and they pick 2, it could be on the odd number. Then you don't, like, it could be odd or even, and it could be too much of a spread. You don't know when you're manipulating the piles. You don't know what's going to happen. But if it's on an even number, there's two nice ways to kind of magically show that that it looks like you're divining or dividing where their card is, right? So when you divide the piles into 2 like this, and you know it's in the even pile here, and you remove a pile, it was like, well, you magically removed half the cards, but you knew nothing about the thing. You can also go further. So once you keep going, let's say I kept, for the interest of time, suppose I divided the pile in 2. This is the even pile, so this is gone. But you also know more. You know that their card is not more than 12 deep. So this is about 12 or so, right? So you can divide that. Just divide that into 2 piles. And then have Alvin go to find this other pile and remove another pile. Now you've removed 2 piles without even knowing what their number is, without knowing, like you've removed cards completely without knowing anything about their number or the card that they have. And you literally haven't, I literally didn't know what a card was. So, and then when you say what your number is, it's 4, and you have Alvin go to the middle roughly here, it's, if you, have the spread not huge, but within a tighter band, and he goes about halfway there. You'll show up this card, and it'll be the card. So that's the way to do it with just one person. So okay, I hope you enjoyed the performance and the tutorial. Be sure to check out some of my other Magic Bend videos, and have a great day. Thanks.